My friend, if your wealth feels delayed, it is not because life has turned against you, nor because destiny has forgotten your name. It is because something powerful is shifting within you, something preparing you to receive more than you ever imagined. Wealth doesn't begin in the bank. It begins in the mind. It begins in the words you speak, the images you hold, the expectations you send out every single day. When your words say, "I want wealth," but your emotions whisper, "I'm afraid," the universe pauses. When your mouth speaks abundance, but your heart carries memories of failure and unworthiness, the blessing waits at the door, unable to enter. Nothing is denied to you, but many things are delayed until you become the person strong enough, clear enough, and confident enough to receive them. Some delay comes from the past, old stories, old hurts, old beliefs that you repeat without even knowing it. You may be trying to walk into a wealthy future while holding on to the voice of lack from your childhood. Release it. Release the old narrative that says you are not enough, not worthy, not ready. Replace it with a new truth: you were born with access to unlimited supply. Wealth is often delayed because people unconsciously speak words of lack, limitation, and fear, turning their own tongues into the very gatekeeper that blocks prosperity. Most people don't realize that their words carry a spiritual charge, a creative energy that shapes the conditions of their life. Every statement becomes a command, an instruction to the universe. When someone repeatedly says, "I never have enough," "Money is hard to come by," or "I'm always struggling," they unknowingly build walls around their blessings. These words become seeds planted in the subconscious mind, producing harvests that match the vibration of lack. Even when they pray for increase, their everyday conversations contradict their desires, neutralizing the very abundance they hope to receive. The mouth creates patterns long before the hands see results. People believe that external circumstances block their wealth, but often the true barrier is the dialogue happening within and through them. Fear-driven words like, "What if I lose everything?" or "I'm afraid to take that chance," send signals that you are not ready for expansion. The universe responds not to what you want, but to what you expect, and expectations are spoken aloud every day in casual comments that seem harmless but carry tremendous power. When your words are saturated with fear, worry, or doubt, you align yourself with scarcity, and scarcity becomes your reality. Many live in this contradiction. They pray for abundance but speak lack. They visualize prosperity but voice fear. They dream big but confess small. This inner conflict delays wealth because your spiritual power flows where your words direct it. You cannot attract what you constantly repel with your speech. The tongue can either unlock doors or seal them shut. When people begin to shift their language, when they declare confidently, "I am provided for," "My supply is endless," "Money comes to me with ease," they start reprogramming the mind, realigning their energy, and clearing the channel for wealth to flow. Words infused with faith dissolve the energetic blocks created by years of negative self-talk. Slowly, the vibration changes. Opportunities start appearing where none existed. Ideas become clearer. Fear loses its power. What was delayed begins to move. But it all begins with awareness, the awareness that your words are not just sounds, but forces. Once you speak as someone who is ready for abundance, abundance has no choice but to find its way to you. Many people delay their own wealth by holding onto old mental patterns, carrying memories of failure, unworthiness, and past disappointments that continue to shape their present reality. These patterns become silent programs running in the background, influencing every financial decision, every opportunity taken or avoided, and every expectation of what life can offer. When someone has experienced lack or hardship, the mind often repeats those stories long after the circumstances have changed. Without realizing it, they judge new possibilities through the lens of old wounds. This creates a cycle where the past keeps recreating itself. Even when a person desires prosperity, the subconscious repeats the familiar pattern, whispering, "It didn't work last time," "You always lose," or "Money doesn't stay with you." These inner voices are not truth, they are echoes of forgotten moments, but they delay wealth by shaping belief. The mind clings to what it knows, even if what it knows is painful. Someone who once failed at a business may fear starting again. Someone who grew up hearing money is scarce will unconsciously recreate scarcity. Someone who suffered financial betrayal may fear trusting opportunities. These internal memories become emotional anchors, keeping the person tied to lower expectations. Wealth requires a mind free enough to imagine something better, bold enough to expect increase, and open enough to receive it. But when old patterns dominate, the imagination shrinks, and the heart closes to possibilities. These past disappointments form a sort of mental fog. They blur vision and weaken confidence. Even when divine ideas arrive, the person hesitates. Even when opportunities appear, they question if they are worthy. Even when success is possible, they sabotage it because their inner world has not yet accepted the idea of abundance. Wealth cannot enter a mind that is still loyal to its old identity. But once someone begins to replace these inner stories with new truths, everything changes. When they stop rehearsing the past and start affirming the future, the subconscious begins to rewrite itself. Every positive declaration plants a new seed. Every new vision weakens an old memory. Over time, the pattern shifts. Confidence grows, worthiness returns, the person begins to expect good rather than fear disappointment. And as the inner world transforms, the outer world responds. Wealth that was once delayed begins to flow, not because the universe was withholding it, but because the mind finally opened the door. Wealth waits on alignment because the universe cannot deliver abundance to a mind filled with doubt, resistance, and contradiction. Many people believe they are asking for prosperity, yet their inner world tells a completely different story. On the surface, they say, "I want more," but beneath the surface, they quietly expect things to stay the same. Their thoughts drift toward fear, their emotions lean toward worry, and their imagination paints pictures of loss instead of gain. This inner misalignment creates mixed signals, sending out a vibration that does not match the wealth they claim to desire. The universe responds not to words alone, but to the dominant energy behind them. When the mind, heart, and spirit are not in agreement, abundance hesitates, waiting for clarity. Imagine someone asking for financial freedom while constantly stressing about bills, doubting their abilities, and fearing the future. Even if the desire for wealth is real, the emotional tone contradicts it. Doubt says, "I don't believe it will happen." Worry says, "I expect more problems." Resistance says, "I am not ready for this level of abundance." These internal states send a powerful message that wealth should pause. The delay is not punishment. It is simply a reflection of the energetic mismatch. Wealth cannot settle where fear dominates, where self-doubt is louder than faith, or where expectations are shaped by past failures instead of future possibilities. Alignment means your thoughts support your desires, your emotions celebrate your future, and your actions reflect your belief in abundance. When someone is aligned, they no longer chase wealth, they attract it. Their words match their expectations match their faith, and their faith matches the life they envision. Suddenly, ideas flow more freely. Opportunities feel natural instead of frightening. Inspired action becomes easier because they are no longer battling internal opposition. The moment alignment begins, small shifts appear. A person feels lighter, more open, more receptive. They begin to notice doors that were always there but previously unseen. They feel more confident taking steps toward prosperity because their inner world finally supports the outer goal. Wealth responds quickly when clarity replaces confusion, when certainty replaces doubt, and when the inner dialogue speaks abundance instead of fear. What once felt delayed begins to unfold with surprising ease. Alignment is the bridge between desire and manifestation, and once it is built, wealth flows across it without resistance. Fear of success, fear of responsibility, and fear of losing what you gain often create invisible walls that stop wealth from flowing, even when a person believes they are ready for abundance. Most people recognize the fear of failure, but far fewer realize how deeply the fear of success can shape their lives. Success brings change, and change demands growth. Wealth expands one's world. It increases visibility, choices, influence, and expectations. While consciously a person may desire all of this, unconsciously they may feel unprepared. They may fear they won't be able to handle the pressure, manage the responsibility, or maintain the success once achieved. This quiet, hidden fear becomes a blocker, repelling opportunities before they even appear. Some fear losing what they gain. They imagine scenarios where wealth slips through their fingers, where success crumbles, where they make one wrong move and everything disappears. These thoughts create emotional hesitation. A person who fears loss cannot fully open themselves to abundance because receiving something they believe they may lose feels unsafe. The mind tries to protect them by preventing the blessing altogether. The subconscious says, "It is better to stay where you are than risk gaining and losing." This protective instinct, meant to shield the person from pain, ends up shielding them from prosperity. Others fear the opinions of those around them. They wonder how friends or family will react if they suddenly rise. They fear jealousy, judgment, or rejection. They fear outgrowing relationships, environments, or identities they have carried for years. Wealth demands stepping into a larger expression of oneself, and this expansion can feel threatening to someone who has always played small. Remaining in familiar patterns feels safer than stepping into an unknown future, even if that future is filled with abundance. These fears often operate silently. A person may feel stuck without understanding why. They may work hard, dream big, and pray for increase, yet something within them remains tense, uncertain, or resistant. Wealth requires openness, an inner willingness to receive, grow, and evolve. If fear remains unaddressed, it tightens the energy field and blocks the flow that abundance needs in order to move. But when these fears are acknowledged and released, something powerful happens. The mind relaxes, the heart expands. Person starts taking bold steps, trusting themselves, and welcoming the opportunities that once felt overwhelming. They shift from fearing success to expecting it, and the universe responds to that expectation with speed. The moment the fear dissolves, the invisible walls collapse, and wealth that was waiting patiently on the other side begins to rush in. People often delay their own wealth when they cling to unforgiveness, resentment, or envy, because these heavy emotions close the channel of divine supply and block blessings from entering their life. Many believe wealth is only about strategy, effort, or opportunity, but spiritually, wealth is also about inner openness. When the heart is burdened with old grudges, disappointments, or comparisons, it becomes energetically tight, unable to receive the flow of prosperity. Resentment creates a vibration of resistance. Unforgiveness anchors the mind to past pains. Envy sends the message that what others have is somehow separate from you, which reinforces lack instead of abundance. These emotions are like stones placed in a river. No matter how strong the current of blessing is, the flow becomes disrupted. Unforgiveness is particularly harmful to prosperity. When a person holds onto anger or betrayal, they replay the hurt over and over, reliving the same emotional state. This traps them in a cycle of low energy and keeps their attention tied to what went wrong. Wealth requires forward movement, expansion, possibility, and openness, but unforgiveness ties the spirit backward. It keeps the person emotionally living in a moment that has long passed. The universe cannot fill a cup that is already filled with bitterness. Letting go is not about excusing others. It is about freeing yourself from an emotional prison that blocks your blessings. Resentment is another barrier that delays wealth. When someone resents another person's success, progress, or opportunities, they unknowingly affirm that abundance is limited. They send a message to their subconscious that someone else's gain means their loss. This mindset creates inner conflict. Instead of celebrating evidence that wealth is possible, resentment turns it into proof that wealth is out of reach. The heart cannot attract what it criticizes. When a person envies or resents someone else's prosperity, they push away the very thing they desire. Envy is particularly corrosive because it focuses attention on comparison rather than creation. It convinces a person to measure themselves against others instead of stepping into their own unique path. Envy whispers, "Why them and not me?" And this statement reinforces the belief that you are lacking something essential. In truth, someone else's blessing is not a threat. It is a sign. It shows what is possible, but envy blinds the eyes to opportunity. When forgiveness, compassion, and gratitude replace these heavy emotions, the heart opens. Creativity returns. Intuition sharpens. Inspiration flows. And with that openness, wealth that was once delayed finds its way effortlessly into your life, because nothing stands in the way anymore. Wealth is often delayed when individuals expect it from limited human sources instead of trusting the limitless universal source. Many people believe that their prosperity must come through a specific person, job, opportunity, or path. They attach their entire financial future to one doorway, forgetting that the universe has infinite ways to deliver abundance. This narrow focus restricts the flow of supply, because when a person fixates on one channel, they close themselves off from countless others that could bring greater blessings with far less struggle. They may think, if this person doesn't help me, I'll fail, or if this job doesn't work out, I have no other options. These thoughts create pressure and fear, not openness and trust. Wealth cannot enter a mind that believes it has only one lifeline. When someone expects abundance only through human means, they often fall into frustration, disappointment, or impatience, because people are unpredictable, limited, and inconsistent. A job can change, a contract can fall through, a person can say yes today and no tomorrow. When your wealth is tied to human reliability, you place your prosperity on shaky ground. You also unknowingly send a message to the universe that supply is scarce, that you must chase, convince, or work tirelessly to receive. This mindset builds tension, and tension blocks flow. Abundance requires spiritual ease, the understanding that provision can come from anywhere, at any time, through anyone, or even through unexpected circumstances. Some individuals delay their wealth by trying to control every detail of how it should arrive. They cling tightly to their plans and restrict themselves to their own logic. But the universe operates through infinite intelligence, often orchestrating blessings in ways far beyond human reasoning. When you trust only what you can see, you reject what you cannot yet understand. And many times, the unseen path is the one holding the miracle. Wealth may be trying to come through a new idea, a chance meeting, a shift in perspective, or a change in direction, but the person misses it because they are locked onto a single expectation. Trust dissolves these limitations. When you release the need to figure everything out and simply hold faith that abundance is on its way, you create space for the universe to work. New opportunities appear without effort. Solutions arise where none existed. Unexpected channels open. What once felt delayed begins to move quickly because you are no longer forcing wealth through a narrow window. You have opened yourself to limitless supply, and limitless supply responds to openness with speed. Many people unknowingly delay wealth because they ignore, doubt, or hesitate when intuitive guidance arrives. Every person receives divine ideas, whispers of inspiration, inner nudges, sudden clarity, or a strong feeling to take action. These moments are not random thoughts, they are the universe opening a door, but when fear, overthinking, or self-doubt steps in, the door closes before the person ever walks through it. Wealth often sits just on the other side of inspired action, waiting for someone to trust their inner guidance enough to move. Divine ideas carry a certain energy. They feel exciting, expansive, or strangely compelling. They may show up as a business idea, a chance to learn something new, a feeling to contact someone, or an urge to explore a new direction. But many people dismiss these moments because they cannot see the full picture. They want guarantees before they take the first step. They want evidence before they act on faith. And so the idea fades, the opportunity passes, and the wealth connected to that action is delayed. Hesitation is one of the greatest thieves of abundance. When a person hesitates, the energy of the moment weakens. They begin questioning themselves. What if it doesn't work? What if I fail? What if people judge me? These doubts block the very guidance that was meant to lead them into prosperity. Intuition speaks softly, but fear speaks loudly. When fear wins, wealth waits. Inspired ideas are not random. They are answers to prayers, solutions to problems, and pathways to prosperity. The universe cannot force someone to follow them. It can only offer them. Each time a person receives guidance and ignores it, the flow slows, but every time they honor it, even in a small way, they strengthen the connection. Wealth begins to move toward those who move toward their inner wisdom. When a person learns to trust their intuition, they stop waiting for perfect clarity and start taking inspired steps. They follow the feeling instead of the fear. They recognize that they don't need to see the entire staircase, only the next step. And with each step, new ideas appear, new opportunities unfold, and new doors open. What once felt delayed begins to accelerate. Wealth flows to the person who trusts the quiet guidance designed to lead them directly into abundance. Your wealth may be delayed because you are spiritually being prepared, strengthened, sharpened, and positioned for a greater abundance than you originally asked for. Life does not give treasures to a heart that is not ready to hold them. Sometimes the delay is not denial, but refinement. The universe works in mysterious ways, shaping character, building resilience, and expanding capacity before allowing the full measure of blessing to enter. Just as gold is purified in fire before it shines, your readiness for wealth is tested and tempered through challenges, lessons, and periods of waiting. Each delay carries a hidden purpose to ensure that when abundance arrives, it is received with wisdom, gratitude, and grace. Many people see delay as a sign of rejection or failure, but it is often the exact opposite. It is a period of preparation that strengthens their spiritual, mental, and emotional muscles. This preparation teaches patience, discernment, and faith. It encourages self-reflection and personal growth. The universe waits until the individual can handle the responsibility that comes with greater wealth. Without this preparation, abundance may come too quickly, leading to overwhelm, mismanagement, or the squandering of opportunities. The delay, though uncomfortable, is protective. It positions you so that when your wealth arrives, it arrives fully, and you are ready to receive it with both humility and authority. During this period of preparation, your intuition sharpens, your creativity heightens, and your inner guidance grows clearer. You learn to recognize opportunities that previously would have gone unnoticed. You develop the courage to take bold steps. You shed old habits and limiting beliefs that would have hindered your success. Every setback, every challenge, and every moment of waiting is an essential part of this preparation. Each experience is a lesson that teaches you how to navigate the higher level of abundance that is coming. When you embrace this period as a sacred time of preparation rather than punishment, your perspective shifts. You begin to see delays as blessings in disguise. You realize that the universe is orchestrating events with precision, ensuring that your wealth is not only attained but sustained. Patience transforms into power. Waiting becomes a period of strategic alignment, and faith grows into certainty. By the time your abundance arrives, you are no longer just ready, you are fully capable of holding, managing, and multiplying it. The delay is simply the universe's way of making sure you receive more than you ever imagined, in perfect timing and with perfect readiness. Wealth is often delayed when gratitude is missing, because a heart that refuses to appreciate what it already has cannot expand into more. Gratitude is not merely a polite sentiment or an occasional thought. It is a powerful spiritual principle that signals openness to abundance. When someone focuses on what is lacking, what has gone wrong, or what seems unfair, they create a vibration of insufficiency that repels wealth instead of attracting it. The universe responds to energy, not to complaints or dissatisfaction. A person who consistently overlooks the blessings already present, no matter how small, blocks the flow of greater blessings. Gratitude, on the other hand, aligns the mind, heart, and spirit with the natural current of prosperity, creating space for new wealth to enter effortlessly. Many people mistakenly wait to feel wealthy or fortunate before expressing thanks. They say, "I'll be grateful when I have more," or "I'll appreciate it when I finally reach my goal." But this approach reverses the natural order. The act of gratitude itself is the magnet that draws more to you. When you acknowledge the abundance already in your life, your energy shifts from scarcity to plenty. This shift opens doors, illuminates opportunities, and makes you more receptive to receiving. Wealth cannot flow into a closed, complaining, or unappreciative heart. It flows to the one who recognizes the richness in every moment, who can see blessings even in challenges, and who celebrates progress rather than focusing solely on lack. Gratitude also transforms perception. When someone practices gratitude daily, their awareness sharpens. They begin to notice opportunities, connections, and solutions that were always present but previously invisible. They see the potential in situations rather than the limitations. They attract people and circumstances that reflect the same positive energy they radiate. This is why wealthy individuals often exhibit a strong sense of appreciation for life. They have trained themselves to receive consciously and joyfully, knowing that acknowledgement is the gateway to expansion. Furthermore, gratitude multiplies what is already present. A simple acknowledgement of a small success or blessing compounds into greater abundance, setting a pattern of recognition that the universe mirrors back with growth and opportunity. By cultivating a consistent practice of appreciation, thanking for even the tiniest provision, celebrating incremental progress, and recognizing every gift, you signal readiness for larger wealth. Delay dissolves when the heart is open, aware, and aligned with the principle that abundance is not only external, but begins from the inside out. When gratitude becomes the lens through which life is viewed, wealth no longer waits. It flows naturally and powerfully toward you. The moment you align your words, thoughts, emotions, and actions with certainty, wealth begins to move, paths open, opportunities appear, and delays dissolve into divine timing. True abundance does not arrive merely from wishing, hoping, or occasional effort. It responds to the harmony of your inner world. When what you speak matches what you believe, when your thoughts reinforce your intentions, and when your emotions celebrate the success you are calling forth, you create an energetic alignment that the universe cannot resist. Every part of you, mind, heart, and spirit, must be united in expectation, clarity, and confidence. This alignment acts like a magnet, drawing the right circumstances, people, and resources into your life with precision and ease. Many people speak of their desires, but allow doubt or fear to linger quietly beneath the surface. They visualize wealth but hesitate to act. They declare intentions but feel unworthy. This inner contradiction sends mixed signals, delaying manifestation. Wealth cannot settle where uncertainty resides. The universe responds to the strongest vibration present, and if that vibration is hesitation, lack, or fear, opportunities are naturally postponed. Alignment, on the other hand, eliminates resistance. When your inner world mirrors the reality you wish to create, your outer world follows in perfect synchrony. You become a living signal of abundance, radiating clarity, confidence, and readiness. Emotions play a particularly crucial role in this process. Feeling the joy, gratitude, and excitement of the wealth you desire, even before it appears, activates your creative power. It signals to the universe that you are capable of receiving and sustaining greater abundance. Similarly, your words must match your intentions. Affirmations, declarations, and conversations infused with certainty reinforce the alignment of thought and emotion, amplifying the magnetic pull of prosperity. Combination of aligned words, focused thoughts, and empowered emotions creates a vibrational resonance that accelerates results. 8 actions complete the cycle. Inspired action, guided by intuition and clarity, channels the aligned energy into tangible outcomes. When each step is taken in harmony with your inner certainty, it no longer feels forced or uncertain. Doors open that once seemed closed. Unexpected opportunities present themselves. Collaboration, creativity, and breakthrough ideas flow effortlessly. Delays that once frustrated and discouraged you dissolve, replaced by momentum that feels natural and unstoppable. Alignment is the bridge between desire and manifestation, and the moment you achieve it fully, wealth does not trickle in. It rushes forward, drawn to the certainty, clarity, and readiness you now embody. The delays you experience in wealth are not punishments but messages, guiding you to align your thoughts, words, emotions, and actions with the abundance that is already yours. Every fear, every old pattern, every moment of resistance is an opportunity to release, grow, and prepare for the prosperity waiting to flow into your life. When you forgive, let go, cultivate gratitude, and step boldly into alignment, the barriers dissolve, and wealth moves effortlessly toward you. The universe responds to clarity, faith, and readiness, and the moment you embody these, your abundance arrives not by chance, but by divine timing with power, ease, and certainty. Your wealth is not delayed. It is being perfectly orchestrated to meet the greatness of who you are becoming.